All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the last game of the night, and boy, do we have a treat. NuFC versus E is officially what it is in the brackets. NuFC versus E, but Min, there's some tomfoolery among us here. NuFC versus MUFC is really what it looks like based on tags. Give us some insight, man. What's going on here?
Yeah, I think, both of their teams managed to reach to the top, and, there we go, fighting against each other down here.
There you go. So here we're on the round of 16. The way I understand it, NuFC, we don't know exactly who they are. As you can see, they have blank accounts here at 1,500. So a 15-1 Draconis from the NuFC game we saw earlier. We don't know who they are, but I have some guesses, and maybe some of those MUFC members. Who knows? But should be one hell of a game. Min's been jiggling in his seat. I can tell by the tone in his voice. He's ready to make it happen. So this is the last game of the night. Though, guys. I am all tongue-tied, all sorts of tired here. And this is only day one. That's the great part about this September online qualifier. We are coming back tomorrow, same place, same time, and we will see day two and the conclusion of this tournament and see which team, or which teams, I should say, actually make it through to the very end. For now, though, let's live in the now. Take a look at the band. Starting off on the Legion side, Team E. I'll probably call them Team MUFC many a time. Go ahead and apologize for the misnomers going about. But Team E on the Legion. Starting us off with a ban on Tempest, followed by Polywog Priest, Jerizaiah, Magebane, Draconis, Pebbles, Tundra, and Meraxis. That's what I'm talking about. That, in my mind, is almost like a perfect banning portion of banning pick, Min. All ridiculously powerful heroes. I don't question a single one.
Yeah, that's right. Already straightforward and powerful bans down there, and it's really, no questions, doubt.
Absolutely right. And first pick here going to come out on the Bubbles. Again, not too surprised about that. A Luna Fade going to be the first two picks for our Hellborn team, NuFC. So we can expect this game to be a little bit different, guys. Probably not going to be the same flavor as the other matches we saw today that were a little bit one-sided. This is going to be the match of the night, and so far I think this draft is indicating such. Interesting to see Fade picked up. Of course, Magebane was banned, and we talked about Fade being kind of a hard counter to Magebane. Do you have any thoughts about why Fade in tandem with a Luna here? Any other potentials for why Fade was picked so early on, given there's no Magebane?
Alright, Fade is a really good support hero, and maybe you don't see it, but in Garena, Fade is really a good support and is used it's used as a tri-lane hero here. So it has a good stun ability first, and its ultimate allows Fade to actually roam behind and assist its carry to actually give the carry kill. So it's really that good. And yeah, one thing bad about Fade is his mana pool as a supporter is not that good, and his melee. So yeah, that's the two negative points about Fade. Yeah, otherwise it's really good.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see how these teams feel about tri-lanes here, because both of them are setting up for what could be great tri-lane teams. Our Legion side, Team E, they've got two of the best solo suicide heroes in the game. Pardon me. Bubbles and Wretched Hag, both just fantastic in that solo role, and of course not Dark Lady, Glacius fits into that tri-lane quite nicely. But wow, talk about carries over here on the NuFC side of things. Silhouette and Fade picked. Gosh, what am I saying? Min, Silhouette and Dark Lady picked up to complement the Fade and Luna duo. I'm thinking they may do a tri-lane here. First Silhouette we've seen all day though.
Yeah, they can do a tri-lane Dark Lady and a solo Silhouette. So it's really powerful. Yeah. So when you have a two carry in a game, it actually is really very confusing. Like, you don't know which carry to actually go for it. And like let's say Dark Lady is really a very powerful carry. You and I agree with this. Yeah. So we will actually like let's say if I'm on the Legion team, we will pin our focus on Dark Lady, and we wouldn't know that Siolet is actually farming all the way at one lane, so he will bring the comeback for the team. So yeah, that's a really nice strategy out there.
Absolutely. Of course, it is a bit of a double-edged sword, though, although it can be vastly successful in the ways that you were just describing. It can also be difficult for both of them to win farm. I mean, if you're in a situation where the opposition is winning 2 of the 3 lanes, that means you're going to have an underfarmed carry somewhere that can fall off very quickly. We'll see. Interestingly enough, though, Scout going to be the carry of choice for MUFC to go toe-to-toe with Dark Lady. This may be a game where we can get a testament to who is a harder carry. All things equal, Scout or Dark Lady. Should be very interesting indeed. And I love the roster that MUFC, a.k.a. Team E over here on the Legion, has built around this Scout. They've got great support, they've got great lanes, but really they have such a solid mid-game. They have so much AoE magic damage between Bubbles, Witch Slayer, and Wretched Hag. I mean, hell, even Glacius, so much crowd control, so much magic damage they can put out. By the time the Shrunken Heads come out, as well as the Barrier Idol, and undoubtedly plenty of Mystic Vestments. Hopefully this Scout's farm will be at an adequate level that he'll be able to start taking over this game. So I love the roster that they've constructed. Last pick going to come out for our Hellborn team, and it's going to be a Pyromancer. So they're going to go for a somewhat more aggressive route as well. Pyro, in my mind, a little bit of a risky pick. His lane presence not quite as good as Bubbles or Wretched Hag. So we'll see how they set up these lanes. I imagine Pyromancer will want to be solo here. We'll see. We'll see how they set this up. And what are you thinking in the way of lanes here for this Hellborn team?
Oh, so it's gonna be a solo Pyromancer and a solo Silhouette, followed by a tri-lane. That's what I'm gonna think it is. I'll place my bet on that.
All right. That was sort of the way I was going. And, of course, Silhouette fits in very nice. I imagine Silhouette will be the long laner here, and Pyromancer probably going to be the solo mid. Looks like we may have a remake, though. As I saw in chat there, somebody wanted to swap something, and I think they missed it.
Yep.
So we may have to sit through a remake here, as unfortunate as that is. Hopefully it goes by quickly. Alright, man. I told them to go fast. So hopefully my antics will be answered. So we're going to try it, man. We're not going to trim the VOD. We're going to try to go straight through here. You and me. I don't want to resort to music, but we may have to. Remakes here and on the Garena client tend to take quite a bit of time. Honestly, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we sit here for another 10 minutes.
I don't think so. Well, they come from the same team, so maybe they will be speed up things faster.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
crossed. I hope you're right, my friend. I sincerely do. I'm really looking forward to this game, actually. Now that we've seen the picks as well, Dark Lady versus Scout, it may be a little bit slow, may have some boring farming moments, but I am pumped to see those two hard carries go toe-to-toe. It's so rare that I get to see Scout. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yep.
How do you feel about Puppet Master, Min?
Puppet Master?
Yeah, you like Puppet Master? Do you wish that he was picked more often?
Yeah, I actually like Puppet Master a lot. I mean, well, Puppet Show is really an very strong skill if you use it on a carry and the carry just ripping his teammates off. And yeah, it's really a strong skill. But Puppet Master, he's really very squishy and very easy to be picked off. So I don't know why players aren't choosing Puppet Master as their carry, but I'm not really sure as well.
Well, I like Puppet Master, but I think his big problem is his lack of escape mechanism. He needs a really good early game to either get Alchemist Bones or get an Assassin Shroud or Whispering Helm. He needs one of those three pretty damn quick, and if you gank him once or twice, he falls off a little too easily, I think.
Yeah.
Plus he's bald. So, yeah. I like Puppet Master. I do agree with you. I wish that he was picked up more. I think he has some utility as a little bit more of a support role. Kind of like Torturer, as we've seen, where Torturer can play support and still do it well because, you know, he sort of inevitably ends up getting farmed. I think Puppet Master could be played that way. Especially against heroes like Magebane, Wretched Hag, that Puppeteer's Hold. Quite the powerful tool in preventing Blink from Blink. I was just looking at the background and I saw Puppet Master, and I just thought you might have some Puppet Master insight for us.
Yeah, it would be good if Puppet Master can be used as a supporting role. I mean, no one ever done that, but Puppet Show is really a good spell. It supports well, and as well as the first skill, which enable the opponent to actually run away to escape. I don't know what's the skill called. Let me. Puppet Master.
Talking about the strings. You pulling my strings?
Yeah, Puppeter's Hole.
Yep.
Puppeter's Hole. Yeah, that's right. So he has these two skills, which is really very good, and it fulfills the supporting role. But if you use Puppet Master as a supporter, it's like not using it to his fullest potential. So why not just use it as carry? Yeah.
That's true. Why not just pick Glacius instead? I don't know. I'm hungry for some experimentation, man.
Yeah, I mean, experiment is good in Horn. We experiment and we found out some new stuff that other teams doesn't find out. So, yeah.
Let me ask you this, Min. We're gonna go way back here. How do you feel about the current state of Vindicator and his the way he's built now with the brain drain or whatever it is instead of Sage's Lore? You know what I'm talking about?
All right. Yeah, I know. They did a huge remake on Vindicator. Firstly, was the first skill where you cast and you steal the intelligence. That's the current Vindicator, and in the past it was just like the silencer from Dota, where you cast it and the opponent hero has to cast a spell to actually be debuffed from it. So I prefer current one than the previous one, but the previous one is pretty strong, I can say, if you are against those low mana pool hero like those, how do I say, Predator, where you have to force the hero to cast a spell. Well, yeah, I like the concept. And most importantly is the third skill. It's the third skill, which is the Glip of Silence, where they actually dramatically change it a lot. In the past, it's like where you cast a spell, you get silent. And right now, only when you attack Vindicator, you get silent. So it's a very, very big difference. Because in the past, when Vindicator is just in the arena, the battlefield, he can cause the opponent to have such a huge pressure down there, where he casts a spell and you get silence immediately. And yeah, that's why I prefer before the Vindicator compared to the recent one.
I like the old one too. I liked that before he was a hard counter to people. You could hard counter Pebbles with a Vindicator pick. Now he doesn't really counter anybody. I mean, he has a better farming mechanism, but I don't know. I feel like now he's just useless. Before he had a very specific niche role, and now it's just like there's so many better people to carry. You know, now you don't really want to play him as a support. You have to play him as kind of a carry. But he still sucks. I mean, why would you ever pick him over a Silhouette if you need a ranged carry, for example, or even a Valkyrie? So I agree, man. I have a Vindicator poster in my backdrop, you know, in my room, and I really liked Vindicator when I bought it, and now I'm a little bit sad that I have Vindicator as my chosen hero. You know?
I can feel that.
A little sad. So we are back, though, guys. Do apologize for the delay here, but we are back and ready to make it happen. Hopefully, there aren't any issues here. We'll go over these rosters very quickly here. We do have Glacius, Bubbles, Scout, Wretched Hag, and Witch Slayer for Team E over on the Legion. And for Team NuFC, we do have Dark Lady, Silhouette, Fade, Aluna, and Pyromancer. We already talked about the drafts a little bit, but quite the interesting teams. And again, we'll see how the lanes unfold. We already did some lane theory crafting. Maybe things will get shuffled up a little bit here.
Yep.
And there we are. So the Dark Lady versus Scout. No Scout skin. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Mist Runner, whatever that the elf one, the one that looks kind of like a female version of Link from Ocarina of Time. I love that skin. It's just so adorable. It's just so cute. So adorable.
The Mist Runner Scout, is that?
Yeah, Mist Runner. I was saying Wind Runner, but I think it's Mist Runner.
Yep.
There you go.
So looks like they have a different tri-lane. They actually try with Silhouette.
Did they? Okay, so they did switch up the lanes. All right, so before that, where are we here? We still got Solo Pyromancer in the mid. Then down here in the bottom, we've got Aluna, Silhouette, and Fade. Where does that leave TDL? And she's hiding way up here at the top. So solo TDL in the close lane, we saw it in the game prior, and again, it seems sort of silly, and it's one of those things that you sort of go, why wouldn't you just try lane the Dark Lady? But I guess they figure she's going to be able to farm just fine with that Taint Soul, as we talked about. The long range, the low cooldown, and the low mana cost makes it such a great utility to safely farm under range of the tower. And down here, I mean, Silhouette should have absolute free farm. I'm assuming she'll be the farming recipient here. Yep, no hatchet on Fade. And, double stun between Fade and Aluna, and then the tree grapple from Silhouette if they can set it up. They've got some potential. We'll see. For the Legion, how are their lanes settling down here? Going to be Solo Bubbles down at the bottom. Yeah, it's going to be Solo Wretched Hag in the mid, which of course does leave us with the Scout tri-lane, Glacius, Witch Slayer, and Scout. So, although Dark Lady will be able to farm a little bit, I imagine this Scout is going to have one hell of a time up here.
Yep, that's right. So... But so we see a supporting Witch Slayer right here, where we see from the previous game we see like a sort of carry Witch Slayer. So right here we see a kind of tri-lane Witch Slayer, which I don't really recommend because Witch Slayer can be used better for battle roles far more than that, and by placing him as a supporting role, so it's like wasting the potential of it. But they do not have a better choice. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would have preferred Polywog Priest in this role here. Again, we never see Polywog Priest in that tri-lane role as we're seeing Witch Slayer here, but he can do it, and he can do it damn well. We've talked about all the crowd control he can put out, even the damage he can do, and once he hits level 6, that's a huge amount of tower pushing that he brings to the table. We're going to see Dark Lady harass back, though. Aluna going to go ahead and rotate up. Probably the smart play here. The question is, will Aluna be enough? It's still a 2v3, and they very well may be able to just pick on Aluna a little bit. Glacius is going to move forward, take a nice aggressive stance. Minimal lane control for the Hellborn side here, but the pull is not warded, so they will be able to get some lane control back. Hopefully Aluna will stack and pull there. In the mid, let's check out Pyro on Wretched Hag. This is an interesting matchup. Hag should have the advantage here. 5 and 6 versus the 5 and 3 Pyromancer, so it is fairly even. I do believe Hag has a slightly better attack animation, and isn't there a disparity in attack range? Actually, Pyro does have the range difference, so actually, no, maybe Pyro should win. I had that backwards. Yes, Pyro usually has the advantage in this mid matchup. Correct, Min?
Yep, definitely. Pyromancer had the advantage over Wretched Hag.
Yeah,
definitely.
You're right. I said it, and then as I tried to reason it out loud, I was like, wait a second, no, Pyro should be whooping him. And the range difference, that's the big thing. Pyro actually does have a 50 range difference to Hag. And also just the spell difference. Both Phoenix Wave and Dragonfire have a pretty long range, and unfortunately Hag's primary nuke sort of forces her to be in a bad spot. And right here, this is point in case exactly of what I'm talking about. And Pyro's just going to be able to keep harassing with that Phoenix Wave all day long. So we'll expect him to do pretty well in this mid. Again, my apologies for confusing the Hag and Pyromancer. Glad we got it settled, though. In the bottom, looks like Silhouette's faring nicely against Bubbles, who's sitting 4 and 3. Silhouette sitting 8 and 7. Not a huge surprise there. Guardian Ring in the inventory of Silhouette and Ring of the Teacher already on Bubbles, so pretty standard kind of long lane mentality here from both these players. No big surprise. A necessity for Bubbles in this situation. Without that Ring of the Teacher, he would be in big trouble against this Silhouette. The harass would just be too much for him to handle. So up here, Scout 17-4, TDL sitting 10-0. So Scout is leading the way. Let's take a look at GPM chart. 290 where Scout's farming, and TDL as well as Silhouette both hovering around 190. So it seems things are going pretty well for Team E over here on the Legion side. Oh, we can switch our overlay. There we are. So Team E off to a hell of a start. There's going to be a pull here. Scout going to go invisible. Are they going to be able to make it happen? The ward is going to come down, so now the pull is going to get warded. And they may have been able to afford to be a little more aggressive up here, but not going to happen. So, yeah, you can see why E, aka NuFC here on the Legion, is so comfortable where they are. They're winning this top lane with Scout. Their Hag's struggling a little bit, and Bubbles struggling a little down here in the bottom, but they've got to be feeling good about Scout's virtual free farm right now. If they can keep it up at this level, it may pay off.
Yeah, that's right. If Scouts get the free farm, he's really gonna go out of control. Because to me, Scout versus the TDL, it actually depends who landed the first hit first. So, but Scout had the advantage because he has the disarm, so it's actually like a 2-second stun for TDL. So. Yeah, pretty much they should control Scout as much as possible because he's gonna be able to out carry Dark Lady.
Yep, that's a good point. When they go toe to toe, that disarm will serve as a pretty powerful anti-carry function. So certainly a good thing to note. Although the silence from Dark Lady, you're, as you said, all about initiation. Who's going to get that first hit? In the tri-lane environment up here, though, TDL still not getting the best farm. That's part of the problem with having Fade up here in the tri-lane. Having that additional melee hero really limits your lane control compared to having 2 ranged. Some CCs coming out on Dark Lady, but not enough for a kill. Again, it's all coming back to lane control, and that's part of the reason Scout's farming as well as he is. In the mid lane, Pyromancer in a little bit of trouble, perhaps. Wretched Hag does have a haste rune active. Not going to man up for the kill. Is going to sip up the bottle. Hag is level 5, sitting only level 2 Sonar Scream. Yep, there it is. He waited for that opportunity to man up. He's going to go in. There's the Bloodlust. Beautifully done. We are talking about Pyromancer. Should be able to win that lane. Runes are the wild card in that heads-up 1v1 mid environment. Wretched Hag going to get the better of him. Very nicely done. Some lucky RNG there on a haste rune at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, that's right. The haste rune definitely helped Wretched Hag up to get the kill. Out there.
Absolutely right. In the bottom lane, let's see how Silhouette's doing. 24-14. Poor Bubbles, only 12-5. So things sort of continuing to unfold as they were earlier on. Interesting choice to go side lane bottle here on Bubbles. I'm not sure how I feel about that choice. Although he is about to lose this tower, and it's in deny range. He's been smacking away at it. Silhouette's trying to get in range, looking for the opportunity. It's a game of numbers right here. There we go. Glyph bait going to be used. And all the kill field actually going to come out. A big misstep from Silhouette. Is Bubbles going to be able to finish him, though? That's the question. Yep, he's going to walk right out the edge of Kelp field there. Bubbles going to get a 2-for-1. He's going to get the deny and the kill. Beautifully done with that Glyph. All the while in the top lane, Aluna going to get caught. She's going to fall. More action continuing, though. Dark Lady trying to finish off Glacius. The Hex going to come out. There's a disarm. They're going to turn on to Fade, though. Fade very well may fall, and it's looking like he's going to go down. Scout coming in for the last hit. Beautifully done. Pixel Baby and Captain Arsenal going to pick up those 2 kills. Scout and Glacia. So across the boards now, MUFC starting to pull ahead 4-0. They may man up onto Dark Lady here. There's the slow from Wretched Hag. Not enough for the Sonar Scream, but is going to path block a little bit. Yep, down he goes. Silhouette going to blink in now, or pardon me, port in, and that's going to be enough to finish off Glacius. Is he going to force the issue here? Fade coming in as well. Low mana on the Legion side, and I imagine they're going to try and force this. Scout needs to be careful. He can go invis. He's going to be able to vanish. No wards are rev down, so he's going to be safe and sound. Witch Slayer, he's going to pay the ultimate price. Flawless going to hang around way too long. And Nick going to be able to grab that kill. Very nicely done. 5-2 now. We still have one hell of an even game here, Min.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be an even game. Well, back and forth. So, but for the late game, if they manage to pull through, the Hellborn team will have a slightly more advantage because they just have 2 carry heroes down there. So, and 2 of their carry heroes are really powerful and strong. So, yeah, it's definitely gonna be a time up from them.
Yep, that is absolutely right. They do have that late game carry advantage. And oh, Glacius going to step maybe a little bit too far forward. Nope, follow-up's not going to be there. Scout needs to be a little bit careful, though. And, yeah, he's probably going to have to head back to the well here. There he goes. Does have his Ghost Marchers, and I'll be curious to see what build Scout goes for here. Are we going to see a Rune Cleaver Scout or possibly something else? The last Scout we saw did go Shrunken Head first, and actually going to go ahead and pick up a Soul Scream Ring. So going to go for a little bit more of an early game focus, but actually double Soul Scream Ring, I have to admit. A bit surprised to see that, but that does tell me that he's going to be a little bit more aggressive early on here. He's going to head back up to this tri-lane perhaps, and just continue farming away. In the mid lane, oh, just illusions, pardon me. Scott actually is going to head to the mid. There's the silence on the Pyromancer. Beautifully timed engage, and oh man, Pyromancer going to drop before he can even react. Beautifully done. Wretched Hag actually the one to pick up that last hit. Fade going to pour it in, but yeah, going to be a few seconds too late here. It's going to be 6-2 here. Legion team going to start to pull ahead a little bit more.
Yeah, looks like the Legion team is really doing a great shape. I mean, doing a good job as well. So they should keep it this way, and as well they have to control their carries. I mean, the Hellborn team carrying hero, so to ensure that their carry hero does not get any farm. So yeah, and Scout get most of the farm, so it will be way better.
Yeah,
for the Legion team in the future game.
Yep, and looking at the GPM chart now, we keep talking about the carry advantage being in favor of the Hellborn side because they have Silhouette and TDL, but we can't forget about Wretched Hag. I mean, Wretched Hag can keep up with Silhouette, I suppose, at least in the mid game. Maybe not once the big items come out, but certainly early on and even in that mid game, Wretched Hag can play a pretty strong role as well. Part of the reason why I would have liked to see maybe a Polywog Priest instead of Witch Slayer, just to add that pushing power, add to that mid-game presence, and possibly could have given NuFC an edge with that Scout carry to make something happen before things get too out of control. But they seem to be doing pretty well for themselves right now. Still curious about this Scout build. Is he going to go for a Rune Cleaver? That's the question pressing in my mind right now. It's not too often I get to see Scouts here, competitive Heroes of New Earth.
Yeah, that's right. So like we say for the previous game, I mean, if Scout doesn't go for the Rune Cleaver, it does not have any more skills or items that is able to help Scout to improve his farming speed. So it's the best that he will be able to get the Rune Cleaver down there and to increase his capabilities to farm.
Yeah, this is going to be a long game, no doubt about it. Yeah, as we said before, any game that's going to go on past that 25-minute mark, you need to invest in the Rune Cleaver, especially if Dark Lady goes for one. He's going to need it just to keep up in farm. A very quiet game, though. 8 kills on the board in only 12 minutes, sort of as we were thinking in the picking phase. You see TDL and Scout, and well, you sort of expect a good bit of static farming here.
Yep.
Bubbles sitting with 800 gold. Unfortunately, Bubbles has had a fairly slow start in this game. He is 1-0-0, but really not much to speak of in the way of farm. So it's going to be a while before he picks up anything too exciting. I imagine he'll be going for a Hellflower this game, though.
Yeah, normally where we see, well, I don't think he will go for Hellflower as first item unless it's really necessary. So Portal Key will be the best choice for first item pick up, followed by Hellflower. Yeah, unless Hellflower is needed as soon as possible, so then it gives the correct reason for Bubbles to actually pick up Hellflower as the first item.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing as well, just looking at these two teams, just sort of from a more macro perspective, I like the Legion team a little bit better. I think they have a little bit more synergy. At least they have more initiation power with that Kelp field. So perhaps you're right that the Portal Key first on Bubbles is going to be the way to go. But I like the synergy between Bubbles and Wretched Hag, and then Scout there with the follow-up. In the mid, Scout almost getting that kill. Wretched Hag going to come in, and that's going to clear it up. Bubbles going to come in as well and drop the Kelp Field. Silhouette doing a lot of right-click auto-attack DPS. And going to pop the ultimate to get out of the freeze. They need to be very careful here. The Sonar Stream going to connect. Silhouette very low. And Witch Slayer going to try man up, but the tower going to push him back. Nicely done by the Legion side. That was a pretty explosive engage, but they're all going to be able to survive here. It's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange. Very nicely done. And look how low all of them are, sort of sharing tower hits. Scout moving around, looking to maybe pick up another kill, but he's going to survive. That is one great thing to those early Soul Scream rings. He is a little bit tankier, did allow him to survive a few more attacks on that tower and kind of initiate that fight and make it happen. So 1-0-5, Scout leading the way in assists here. He's off to one hell of a start. Still leading the way on the GPM chart, 330 GPM. It's kind of where he wants to be, I'd say.
Yep, that's exactly right. But do not forget that Dark Lady is farming all the way at the top lane. So he's quietly farming, and yeah, the Legion team should take note of this and do some actions on it.
Absolutely. I'm keeping a close eye on the inventories. Notice how much gold pooling is going on here. Dark Lady just grabbing those 2 broadswords, not going for the sustainer first, doesn't want to reveal what build he's going for. You know, sort of like what I was talking about. If Dark Lady gets the Rune Cleaver, that's going to make Scout think twice about his item choices. He's either going to have to go Rune Cleaver as well if he can get it in a timely manner on par with TDL, or he's going to have to go for something much more mid-game focus. You know, that early shield breaker, something that'll give him a huge damage boost right now when they can take it edge while TDL's still trying to farm away with that economic Rune Cleaver investment. TDL is going to be going the Rune Cleaver route, though, as we just saw with the 2 broadswords. Scout with 1,800 in the bank. He's on par, just needs to figure out what he wants to do with it. I think both could work here. It's just a matter of what their team wants to do, if they think they can take enough of a lead, enough of an edge with some mid-game items, or if they need to go Rune Cleaver and drag this one out a little bit. It's kind of a tough call. It's all about team mentality. Again, not to be a broken record, just saying Voodoo Wards would have helped.
Yep. That's right. So, so we see back to the static game farming. Well, Scout farming all the way again, and TDL is farming as well. So, really passive game all the way. But definitely, they will be able to set something out really soon when Bubbles actually. Oh, so looks like Scout is in big trouble. A stun come from Fate. But wow, Witch Slayer actually missed the graveyard. So, yeah, so
can't win them all.
Well, yeah. Wow, they just back all the way when they actually saw that so many heroes are down there.
Could be an engage brewing here, though. Bubble's going to throw down the lane ward. He's actually going to blow a couple of those valuable cooldowns as well as a graveyard onto the Silhouette illusion there. But this aggressive lane ward may help things a little bit here. For the Legion. Now I also want to note what Dark Lady's doing. I mentioned pooling that gold to hide the builds. He picked up those 2 broadswords, and they're still sitting back in the base. He's still not going to reveal that build. Going to wait until he can pick up the entire thing before they see exactly what he's up to. Very sneaky plays. Scout's sort of doing a similar thing here. He's got about 3k gold in the bank. Needs to decide what he's going to do fairly quickly here. We're getting to that point where you're going to want the Rune Cleaver to start farming away with. I guess Scout's probably about 1,200 off or so. Dark Lady here, maybe 800 off. So she is, well, closer to the Rune Cleaver. Scout behind on that front because he did invest in the 2 Soul Scream rings, which, judging by the reaction in chat, made quite a few people scratch their heads with kind of a, interesting. Double Soul Scream on Scout. Never would have thought of that.
Yeah, I would never thought of. I would never thought of that as well, because 2 rings which will approximately cost, let's say, around 900 to 1,000 gold, which can actually spend it on his core item instead of just getting the 2 rings. So yeah,
well,
that's one of them.
Let's see, how much are they? They're 230, so they're 460 a pop. Yeah, you're right. That's a pretty good chunk. That's well, the difference of having a Rune Cleaver on par with TDL, I suppose. But like I said, by no means does he have to do that build. An early shield breaker can give Scout a big edge, let him snowball, and he's not going to go the early shield breaker, but actually going to pick up an Ice Brand. And an interesting choice. I don't know that I agree with it, to be perfectly honest. Knowing that Dark Lady is going for that Rune Cleaver, we talked about this a little bit, I imagine he's going to be moving into a Frostburn straight away, and then of course the classic split to Geos into Frostwolf Skull. Not a bad build, but I don't know that it's going to give him enough of an edge to allow him to keep up farming with Dark Lady. He's not going to be able to static farm his way to victory to stay toe-to-toe with her. So that means he's going to have to make up that deficit in kills. So the question comes down to, is Frostburn the item that's going to make that happen for him? And I'm not sure that it is. They do grab a kill onto Bubbles, or pardon me, onto Pyromancer there. Bubbles the one to pick up the last hit. They do get the tier 1 tower in the mid lane as well. So Legion team continuing to pull ahead here now by about 2.5k gold. And they're just going to keep pressuring. Look at all this creep clear potential. I think they may pressure this tower a little bit. They do need to be careful, though. They don't want to get engaged on. Fade is hiding in the trees. Her ult's going to pop off. That is going to reveal the jig is up. And Hag going to, well, take a little bit of damage. I was going to say get engaged on, but it's a little bit too dramatic. She just took a couple auto attacks to the face. No big deal. So there you go. What I thought what may be an engage is just going to sort of fizzle out. What do you think about the Ice Brand pickup here on Scout, though? You like it or no?
Okay, well, if you gotta go a Geometer's Bin Scout, well, because eventually if you get a Frostburn, I mean, it's the better way if you split the Frostburn out into 2 core items. But getting Ice Brand now, I don't think it's a really good idea, because Scout needs the mana regeneration, because like you see now, he does not have the mana regeneration at all. So he's running low at mana. And always, but I have a question, but I'm not pretty sure. If Scouts went for the Geometer's Bane build, his illusion will have the disarm as well. So if he able to micro properly, it will be a permanent disarm.
I'm not sure if that propagates to illusions. I want to say yes. I feel like they should, but I also feel like that would be really powerful, and people may have done that before. So I could see it either way. I really don't know, good sir. But yeah, I mean, I think Geometers would have been a better choice to begin with, just because the Blessed Orb at least gives you some stats, gives you a little bit of extra health, gives you some mana. I absolutely agree with you, sir. If he doesn't have the sustainer, or the sustainer, or at least the Rune Cleaver, he needs a Ring of the Teacher. He needs some kind of mana regen, and ouch. I was sort of halfway through that thought, and then I saw Scout just get obliterated. Instead of doing play-by-play, I thought it may be more powerful just to give him a moment of silence. I mean, that was, wow, that is scary. If they just keep rinse and repeating that against Scout, I don't know, man. That is going to be rough. Dark Lady now has the Rune Cleaver, and she is just skyrocketing in farm. Now has surpassed Scout for the first time in this game, leading the way at 370 GPM. Going to take out a double stack here at the Ancients and pull ahead that much further. Wow. Things starting to look a little bit rough for this Legion team all of a sudden. They were in great shape, but now things starting to fall apart a little bit. They still have a lot of potential in their team, though. They still have that initiation edge, as we see in the mid lane here. Kelpfield actually going to be used, and that'll be the end of Aluna. Of course, Bubbles does have his portal key now, so that is one tool that will turn him into quite the devastating turtle on the at least initiation front. Up in the top lane here, Silhouette going to get engaged on by Scout, and this may be the end of Silhouette. Oh, a beautiful ulti going to prevent the marksman shot from going off. Is Scout going to be able to make something happen, though? Silhouette not going to try and juke into the trees. Bubbles just going to go straight in, and he may take that kill. No, there we go. There's the swap from Silhouette. Going to go back. He does have a port, but not even close to enough mana to use it. He's going to rotate the boots. Still, he's a ways off. 75 mana, sitting only on 45. I don't know if he's going to have enough time. Scout very well might make it. We're going to see down in the bottom lane, Wretched Hag going to fall. Scout desperately looking for this Silhouette. Just going to have enough to port, and Silhouette's going to be able to make it out. Very unfortunate for Scout there. A noble effort, but not going to be executed quite right. Hellborn team looking good. 4-11 in hero kills, but they are getting the better of the farm all over this map as Dark Lady continues to skyrocket that farm, thanks to the Rune Cleaver, of course. The Abyssal Skull in the inventory now. Going to make her that much more scary, man.
Yeah, absolutely right. So Well, Dark Lady is pretty much farm up compared to Scout. So, well, it's really, I don't think, well, they still can shut down Dark Lady pretty much, but it's really hard if you really focus all your attention on Dark Lady, and the rest of the team, like Silhouette, will actually pick you off and yeah, stuff like this. So Silhouette has finished her now stone as well, so she's quite farmed up as well.
Yeah, that's definitely the beginning of Silhouette being quite scary in this game. And yeah, based on the way the things are starting to turn out, like we said, even though it's 11-4, the team with the carries is just really vastly out farming our Legion team. Unfortunately, Team E, aka NuFC, really struggling now. They just don't have that same map control. Their Ancients aren't getting stacked and cleared the same way. I mean, Dark Lady has consistently been clearing out stacked Ancients here, and that is a testament to the supports here on the Hellborn team. NuFC doing a great job on that front and actually getting the better of their opponents there. One of many factors contributing to this farm disparity. Also, now that our Hellborn side's catching up in towers, that's making a nice difference. Silhouette up in the top lane, going to be able to solo down that tier 1, no problem. With that Nullstone, going to be able to tank it pretty easily and just regen up. All the while in the bottom lane, though, they do lose a tier 1 tower, so tier 1 for tier 1 tower exchange. The only difference is Silhouette took a solo tower, and here we have all 5 pushing. So even right now, as we speak, this Legion team is getting out-farmed across the map. They're going to take a tier 2 in this bottom lane, but very well may lose one in the mid and could even lose one in the top as well. So I don't think this is going to be a favorable exchange. They do get the tier 2 first. The ports come out. All 4 ports going to be in the mid lane. The tower is in deny range. They need to be very careful here. This Hell Cannon may very well finish it off. Need to time these auto attacks just right. And Glacius is going to be able to get it very nicely down. Up in the top lane, the tower going to survive. Silhouette going to move into the trees. Going to try and port out. Is going to make it. A couple of auto attacks from Scout. Not going to be enough to finish her off. Fortunately, Wretched Hag without the cooldowns did have the Bat Blast, but wasn't quite sure which way to throw it. Didn't want to gamble. Probably could have been a kill, but definitely would have had to roll the dice.
Yeah, definitely. He went for the safe route and just escaped when he has the chance, so not taking the chance there.
Certainly right. Pyromancer has made a nice item pickup as well. Now has a portal key. So that is, as always, one of those scary items that does change the scope of Pyromancer a little bit. Has bottled up Regeneration Rune here as well. So he's in pretty good shape. TDL still farming these stacked Ancients. Having a field day. Looking at the GPM chart here, we see Dark Lady sitting around 450 GPM, well above both Scout and Wretched Hag. Now, even Silhouette is kind of a hop and a skip ahead of Scout at this point, which is definitely scary. I'm not a fan of the Frostburn choice. You know, Ghost Marchers, I can kind of go either way. The Soul Screams, not so much, and then straight into Frostburn. Just not enough. It's a little bit too mediocre of an item. It's sort of a jack of all trades, if you will. Druids from World of Warcraft, but this is a case where you need a Moonkin, man. You need the big deeps. You need to bring out the cannons. Shieldbreaker all the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Shieldbreaker Vlad's, something like that. I would have liked that a lot better. He does have the Mighty Blade, though, so I reckon he'll be going to pick up a Shrunken Head next. Probably a smart choice, but again, could be too little too late. We see Hag already with the Shrunken Head complete. Shrunken Head first on Wretched Hag, which is a little bit interesting as well. Probably would have thought it would be a Nullstone, but opting for the Shrunken.
Yeah, I mean, because there's quite a amount of stuns for the Hellborn team, so it's as an initiator. Well, beside Bubbles, if you say Hack, he can go for Shrunken Head, so he can initiate properly. And there goes initiation by Bubbles. Actually, kept few 3 heroes down there, but Scout has will be able to take down Aluna down there despite of not having enough mana. And here we say Scout without Cleaver, mana issues all the way. Yep. He does not have any mana at all right now. So
absolutely, a recurring theme in this game is Scout being low on mana without that mana regen. A nice kill nonetheless, though. And as you were talking, or as you were saying, it does make Well, it does make Bubbles a little bit scary there. Tier 2 for Tier 2 exchange, though. Silhouette going to be able to take out the Tier 2 in the top lane in exchange for the Tier 2 in the mid. Very nicely done. So if Silhouette hadn't done that, that would have been a pretty bad deficit. But at least making it a break even, less the death of a Luna, unfortunate as that was. But still, at least finding a positive amongst a whole bunch of negatives there. We see Bubbles, now that he has the portal key, is going to be working towards that health flower. Does have the steam staff. And, of course, it will turn into an Arcana. 1 of 3 to come. There it is. He does have that first Arcana complete. Dark Lady has, wow, now completed a Shrunken Head. I knew he was pulling up for something else. I've been missing the pieces that he picked up. And, yeah, that's going to be a Shrunken Head. Scout now picked up his Warhammer, so he's pretty close to his Shrunken as well. But this is one of these games, Shrunkens all around. Plenty of disable on both sides, as you were mentioning, Min. So not surprised, but that does make Dark Lady really scary now at this point, especially with the lifesteal. She's, if you know, in a toe-to-toe environment, Dark Lady is just going to shut this Scout down so easily. She hits harder. She has the silence, has lifesteal. I don't know. Seems like a pretty easy math problem to me.
Yep, that's right. But unless Dark Lady don't get disarmed by Scout, because once he get disarmed, it's a 2 seconds. So within these 2 seconds, it will allow his teammates to actually assist him to get kills on Dark Lady. But right now, unfortunately, Dark Lady already finished his Shrunken Head, so it's impossible to shut him down immediately.
Yep.
So yeah.
Need that health flower.
Yep. You need the health flower.
So it looks like there may be some more tower exchanging happening here. The Tier 2 in the bottom lane for the Legion going to be the first to fall. And there's a full health Tier 2 for the Hellborn up at the top. So if they go for the base race here, of course NuFC on the Hellborn is going to have a huge timing advantage. They're going to start pressuring this base straight away. I don't know if the glyphs are up. Not going to be used by the Hellborn. If it is, the tower is going to fall. The ports are going to come out. This Tier 3 tower already taking a hell of a lot of damage. Even if they just stop right here and back out, the damage has been done. The tower down to below deny range. The creep's going to take it out. Wretched Hag going to come in, and that's going to start this fight off with a kill onto Pyromancer. Very nicely done, but that may be it. Pyromancer for a Tier 3 is a nice exchange, but they're going to continue on. Shrunken Head's going to be popped by both Wretched Hag and Dark Lady. Looks like a Luna's going to fall. Down she goes. Fade's coming back in. They're going to be able to turn it around and finish off Hag. Glacia's going to fall as well. This Dark Lady just destroying faces right now. The Destroyer of Worlds, knocking him down. That lifesteal just a bit too much for him to handle. Scout's going to come in here. He's a little bit late to the party, though. I don't even think he's brought the chips. He's going to stay invisible. He's just going to hang out, afraid to go toe-to-toe with that Dark Lady, and I'm not surprised why. He's going to hop right in here. Bubble's going to come as well. They're going to keep the chain silence. Beautifully done right there. Looks like Scout waited for the perfect timing. They make it look easy, but staggering those abilities certainly is not as easy as they make it look right there. Fade taking a lot of damage, is going to throw the stun onto Scout, but got no out here. Actually, it does have a Homecoming Stone, not even going to try it, and just going to fall. So it does get cleaned up by the Legion team, still leading 16-6. They did have to sacrifice their Tier 3 tower. All of the outer towers are down for both teams, and still we see a nice gold lead for our Hellborn side. Dark Lady showing us why she is a scary force in this match for sure.
Yeah, that's right. So, but actually, Dark Lady did a fairly good job at the engage, but overextend a bit with Fate. So, well, they does not have any vision against Scout, so it was a loss.
Yeah, oh, that's definitely true. And we see Silhouette here now jacking the Ancients. Needs to be very careful. Going to be forced to use the ultimate. And this could be bad news bears for Silhouette right here. Pyromancer going to come in. He's going to get baited a little bit. Looks like he may fall. Scout going to use the Shrunken Head. That's going to be enough for the kill. Silhouette going to be in some trouble here. And he's actually going to hide in the trees. Very well. May fall as well. And actually, a Luna gets taken out. What is this Hellborn team doing? They had an advantage, and they're throwing it away. That's going to be a 3-for-0 exchange. Hat trick coming out from Scout. That is a one-way ticket to buffing up this Scout. I am a little bit scared now. I thought they had it, but giving 3 kills over to Scout, that's going to at least level things out a little bit. He's going to have 1,400 gold in the bank. What's he going to do with it, man? Hopefully something to get him back on track, get him in this game. It's been leveled out here now, 32 minutes in.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, Scout, now he's just out of control, and they should probably I mean, consider on investing an eye against Scout because oh my god, Fit just got picked out by Scout there, double damage Scout. So I think nothing Dark Lady can do as well as he's been silent. So yeah, they should consider investing an eye for a Scout. So at least you know Scout presence is there and it's not so like it keeps you in suspense that oh my god, where is Scout like this. So yeah, it's better to get an eye.
Absolutely, no doubt about it, and I think it's time they make that investment for sure. It's overdue at this point, I think you could say. But now that Scout is dangerously farmed, now that they've fed him really 4 kills, what I would say needlessly there, he's 2,200 gold in the bank. I mean, he can move into kind of whatever he wants here. My question, though, what is he going to move into? Is it going to be a wing bow? Is it going to be a savage mace? Those are my top 2 thoughts here. And, wow, it's going to be an abyssal skull. That was my number 3, okay? So, abyssal skulls on both sides, though, both Scout and TDL with the abyssal. Sort of a shame that they're both the ones to actually pick them up because I think this may be a match where inventory space will become a real concern. And they're going to be wishing that the supports had those abyssal skulls instead of them. But that is something to worry about at a later time for sure. Scout going to come in here. He's going to engage onto Dark Lady. This could be one hell of a team fight coming up. Who's going to be the first to fall? It very well may be Pyromancer. The Bat Blast going to be used to secure that one. They do make it a 1-for-1 though. Witch Slayer going to fall. Down goes Dark Lady. Things starting to look a little bit grim for the Hellborn side. Glacius now looking like he's going to fall. Down he goes. It's going to be a 2-for-2. Aluna backed into a corner. Down she goes. Scout is going to get locked down. He's going to fall as well. It's just a massacre on both sides of the coin. Looking like a 3-for-3 at this point. And that's going to be the end of it, at least for now. Silhouette and Hag going to go toe-to-toe, but that Invis rune going to be enough to keep Hag alive. She's going to walk a little bit too close to that Ward of Rev. Silhouette going to get a few auto attacks off, but that's going to be it. It was one hell of a team fight there, Min. Leveling things out even more despite a huge kill disparity. 23-10, of course, in favor of our Legion team.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, I think that they have the mentality that, oh yes, we got Scout down, but unfortunately, they still have another carry hero, which is Silhouette. So, Silhouette is doing a pretty fine job there, picking off the remaining heroes that Dark Lady is not able to pick off. So, yeah, good job down there by the Hellborn team.
Absolutely. So most of the carries were taken out there, though. I guess that fight did benefit the Legion team a bit more, but when it was all said and done, a fairly even exchange. I think Silhouette is going to be one cause for concern as this game continues here. She now has the portal key as well as that Whispering Helm. She is becoming quite the scary presence as well. Uh-oh, Sheepstick now picked up for Wretched Hag. That is a big item pickup. That may be enough to start shifting the tides in these fights even more in favor of the Legion side. If you can drop that sheep onto a Dark Lady, yeah, that can be quite the powerful way to shut Dark Lady down. Hellflower also just picked up by Bubbles. So 2 crowd controls, especially if you can get it off before the Shrunken Head goes off. It can be absolutely huge. Scout needs to be a little bit careful here. Still no eye picked up, but there are some wards of Rev down. Aluna going to throw one down here where the Tier 2 tower used to be. Sort of anticipating that Scout may be afoot, and he's going to walk. Oh, never mind. Thought he was going to walk right up into it. But he's going to port the top lane.
Yep. So looks like he's going to continue to keep up the farming and to complete his his 4th core item in this end. So, well, pretty interested to see what will he pick up next. Hopefully a Savage Mace or something which hurt pretty much.
Yep. A Savage Mace would certainly be a good choice here, though. I don't know. I'm a fan of Wingbow. What I like about Wingbow is just that evasion mechanic. And Dark Lady is not a hero that you generally see going for a Savage Mace. Silhouette, though, very well may be trying to pick one up. So this might not be the best game for a Wingbow. So I guess I would agree with you. Savage Mace, just raw damage output may be the way to go. Although he very well may just split that Frostburn and go into the Frostwolf Skull, that Geometer's combo. Aluna going to get caught. That's going to be another kill for the Legion. Silhouette going to get caught here as well. Oh no, those are both illusions, pardon me. Thought the real Silhouette was afoot, but she is in the lane. So, but another free kill for the Legion. slowly climbing their way out of this deficit, though Dark Lady's still farming away. Looking at that GPM chart, things looking a little bit more well-rounded. Silhouette, though, is now taken over as the leading farmer in this match at 475 GPM. Scout at least above that 400 barrier. Look at this aggression, though. Team E, a.k.a. NuFC, moving on up, trying to make something happen. They're going to throw down a Warder Rev here. Looking to catch that fade, but not going to find it. Where's the real Silhouette? The real Silhouette is actually down here in the bottom and is going to cut off these creeps a little bit. It's kind of weird positioning. He does have a port, so if he can bait them out, perhaps he'll be able just to port back to the base. Nicely done by Silhouette, though, to actually draw the fire from this whole Legion team.
Yep. Totally agree with that. Actually, do a backdoor creep kill down there and to prevent the Legion team to actually be able to push into the base. So, yeah, nice strategy down there by Silhouette.
Yeah, very, very smart indeed. Glacius has also picked up a tablet of command. Probably important to note. But here we go. Hero damage breakdown. Silhouette leading the way for our Hellborn side. Scout actually the leader for the Legion. Not too often you see Scout leading the way, especially when there's a Bubbles and a Hag. Sort of a testament to how active this Scout has been in helping set up some of these kills. He's 8, 2, and 7. I think that's the highest combination of kills and assists here of anyone in the game. So quite the active Scout we've seen in this game.
Yep. And I did not actually realize that he will be able to own this game with this build. So, wow, so I learned something new from this. So, actually, Frostburn works out for Scout.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a testament to Frostburn so much, just because the turning point, I think he was falling behind, and then he picked up that hat trick pretty needlessly. I don't think that was a result of the Frostburn as much as a result of a series of misplays from the Hellborn side. So, but you're right, Frostburn not all bad. It is working out for Scout here. He does have a nice 3K in the bank, and he's going to go ahead and pick up that Slayer. Nope, he's going to sell it, and he's just going to go ahead and go with the Brutalizer. So, there you go. That's where Scout's going.
Okay, so he got the Brutalizer down there, and I love that item, personally, on Scout. If you get disarmed and you get bashed constantly, it's very irritating.
Yep, absolutely right. Brutalizer can be quite the irritant to deal with.
And looks like Fate had picked up an eye, so it's a huge item. Finally, they decided to invest on it.
Feels a little late. 40 minutes in, their first eye. I can't help but feel like that it would have been a much-needed item choice much earlier on. But we'll see. Scout going to be able to take that out. All right, we have a pause. I need to hop up momentarily here. A bit of a caster emergency, so we'll be back in just a moment. Min, the show is yours. Take it away.
Alright, so you are back. So looks like they had a toilet break right here.
Yes, good. I have to admit, the combination of caffeine and water that I have ingested over the past 10 hours finally caught up with me. We were on the verge of a cataclysmic meltdown. Should have gone before the game started. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It's very rare that I actually feel the need to pause a game and hop up mid-cast, but that was pretty as close to emergency as it gets, I think. It was bad enough that I was considering my options of not getting up, and then I couldn't bring myself to it. I couldn't do it. I guess the real casters keep a bucket next to their computer, huh? So what the hardcore guys do.
Oh, are they waiting for us?
Yeah, oh sorry, I didn't mean to cause a panic. So we are good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the biggest issue was I couldn't even focus, man. You were saying stuff, and I was just thinking, I gotta pee so bad. I gotta go so bad, so bad. So, all right, looks like I'm here. We're good to go. Ready to make it happen. Oh.
Okay, so now, right now, you release your stress.
So I do feel like a human again. I didn't realize how stressed I was getting. I was getting more and more like, God, my throat hurts, my nose is getting stuffier. Now I feel like, hey, I'm coming out of this sickness. It's amazing. Allergies, man. Hate them. All right, so where were we in this game? Again, my apologies, guys. Jokes aside, I do sincerely apologize. Like I said, I would not have called the pause if it was not at least close to an emergency on that front. Anyhow, items we've been reviewing quite vividly in this game. It doesn't look like too much has changed. The last installation in the story of item pickups here is Scout with that Brutalizer. So with the Abyssal Skull, that's huge. The bash can be quite good. And going toe-to-toe with Dark Lady, that's a way to make it happen, so to speak. So we'll see. I think it's a matter of time, though, man. Everyone's so farmed. This is one of these games where next Genocide calls it, for the most part. You know, the next victorious team fight, if there's anyone left alive, we're pretty much going to see Rax or Kongor fall, undoubtedly. So,
yeah, something to point out. Silhouette actually has 7,400 gold in his stash, so I'm really interested to see why is he gonna pick up and why is he not picking up any item? I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, pulling gold is a good thing, but he's at the point where he can literally right-click any item in the game. I mean, he's just at the point where it's about time, bro. Just make it happen. Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's going to be a Savage Mace. So, of course, he does have the attack modifier for lifesteal already, so that does limit his decisions a little bit. And I think Savage Mace will probably be the best bet.
Yeah, I would like a Savage Mace or a Shieldbreaker build. Shieldbreaker on Silhouette is actually quite useful as well. I really like the build, but considering that he already has the attack modifier, so he will be going for a Shieldbreaker.
What he could do, though, he could still grab the Shieldbreaker, but if he turns that Whispering Helm into what's that item called now? I'm blanking on the name of it. Oh God.
Symbol of Rage?
Yeah, Symbol of Rage. Thank you so much, sir. Symbol of Rage. You know, he could do that and then stack the attack modifiers that way. That is one option. If he is hell-bent on getting a Shieldbreaker, that is one route that he could take. But we'll see, man. He's up to about 8.5k. There comes a point where it's just a little ridiculous. Maybe he's saving for a Doombringer. You never know.
But he could right-click Doombringer, alright?
He could right-click a Doombringer, still have enough for buyback, and
yeah,
probably still like upgrade to a Shaman's Headdress or something. I mean, he has so much money right now. It is insane. I don't know if I've ever seen that much pooled up in a competitive game like this. That is pretty ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous down here. Looks like they're gonna do a Congo attempt, but they spot some wards down there, so... Oh, Bubbles initiated on Dark Lady. So there goes Dark Lady, been hellflowered and can't do anything down there, so...
Yep, and that's going to be a buyback use for Dark Lady right away. They're going to pressure Kong, and that's exactly what you were talking about. If you get that health flower off, there's nothing Dark Lady can do. Completely counters that item. Scout going to get caught, though. They're going to go straight in. Scout's going to turn it around. That's going to be the end of Fade. The eyes on the ground. No one's going for it. Glacia's going to drop as Dark Lady's bought back. And it looks like they may actually be the ones to take Kong. NuFC, look at this with the turnaround. The Legion team forced the port back. And yeah, they're going to be able to pick up this Kong kill. That Dark Lady buyback, so valuable right now. He's going to pick up the token, and they're going to try to make something happen. This Silhouette constantly pressuring the lane is the reason they were able to make that happen, forcing the Legion to port back. And that is going to keep their tier 3 in the top lane alive. But for how long? This game just got much more intense. It looked like the Legion was going to be able to start pulling ahead, but wow, giving up Kongor like that. I don't know if they're going to have the resources to fend off this split push here. Silhouette now up to about 9.4k gold in the bank. She's going to break 10k here in just a minute.
Yep. So they're going to do a split push down here. So Silhouette could actually push herself alone efficiently without the need of his teammates. So, well, I'm not sure if they're going to defend this because Dark Lady is quite painful and they need kind of full team down there to actually fight Dark Lady. But drop the topic, Silhouette is being pursued and there down he goes. Wow, the ship stick there definitely helps a lot. But down there, the Rex fall at the bottom lane. So, well, there's a fair trade for a Silhouette for a bottom rack, so Aluna is in big trouble. There he goes down, killed by Wretched Hag. And Pyromancer is in big trouble. He has his Stronger Head on, but does not have any mana left, so Wretched Hag is going to pursue for Pyromancer down there, and I thought he's going to survive this.
Yeah, that Scout ult, perfectly timed right there to hit him in the face right after the Shrunken Head wears off. And this Legion team, like you said, although it was a fair exchange, so to speak, the 1 racks for a Silhouette, now they're in good shape. They're going to be able to pressure. It's a 5v2 right now. Pyromancer going to buy back. Silhouette, I imagine, will. Yep, there it is. And Aluna going to pop back up. So we'll see what this Legion team does. They need to be a little bit careful here. They don't want to overcommit. All the while on the bottom, Dark Lady and Fade making a push. Witchslayer going to try and defend. He's going to get dropped like he's hot. They're going to be around in the base. They might be able to make something happen here. The rest of the Legion is in full defense mode right now. Bubbles, Scout, and Glacius trying to make it back to the base. This game is getting so intense. I still haven't a clue which team is going to come out ahead. And we're going to see some more initiation here in the mid. Scout doing a hell of a lot of damage to Dark Lady. Shrunken Heads are active all over. We're going to see Fade get taken out, and Wretched Hag going to be able to finish off Pyromancer. It looks like, yep, down he goes. Scout barely alive, going to head for the hills as Silhouette comes in to try and take out the trash. The Hellborn team going to be the victors here in this fight, it looks like. But Scout does survive. The 2 hard carries still alive. Might be able to make it happen. Glacia is going to fall as well. And it looks like it's a 3-on-3 at the moment. However, 2 of the hard carries to the Hellborn are alive. They may be able to make something happen here. Min, if they can take out this mid lane of Rax, they may be able to clench this game. They're up 1 lane. If they can make it 2, they're going to be in great shape. Witchslayer going to be popping back up. I don't think they're going to be able to make it 2 quite yet. Can't forget in the top lane as well, that tier 3 tower is dangerously low on hit points. Wow. This is one hell of a game.
Yep, exactly right. So looks like they are going for the safe route instead of just doing a gamble here, because after all, it's a best of 1 series, so they're planning to play this as safe as possible. So yeah, here we go. So they're going to lay back a bit and farm. And looks like Scout is planning something down there, and looks like he's waiting for Bubbles to actually support him. So
yep. Oh, he's gonna bump into Fade though. Nope, not going to engage it. Probably could have picked up a kill there, but not going to engage it. Silhouette, well, he bought a Savage Mace, and then he sold it, and then he bought a Slayer. Is he going to go? Is he going to Doombringer this bad boy?
There he goes. He got a Slayer now.
He just bought the Slayer. Doesn't want to upgrade it. He's only got 7k gold. If only interest was a factor in this game. I don't know. Interesting.
All right. Let me guess. He's going to wait for the next token, and he's going to get the token, and he's gonna do 2 Doombringers.
You know, honestly, Min. I never would have thought that I'd hear those words and think that they would make some sense, but cheese and crackers, man. That I don't have any other explanation. Why else would you buy just a Singleton Slayer and then sit there with 7.5k? I mean, I can't think of any other feasible explanation. He already has lifesteal. I mean, he could Symbol of Rage it if he wants, I suppose, but token double Doombringer, new silhouette meta.
Yeah, and it hurts a lot.
I think that's an understatement. It mutilates, it massacres, it's the bringer of doom, man. I mean,
but if he died and Scout got the 2 Doombringer, that's GG.
Oh man, well, this game's already interesting, but that would make it super interesting, I think. Again, still a very even game. The Hellborn side has a clear edge, I think. Of course, with 1 racks down, or I guess 1 racks up, I should say. With Silhouette and Dark Lady leading the farm, both looking quite scary, leading the way in levels. You know, things are starting to look a little bit rough. They still have a chance, though. With the Sheepstick on Hag, the Hellflower on Bubbles, all it takes is 1 misstep, 1 failed positioning from this Hellborn team. Buybacks are going to become a huge luxury in this match. If they can force another buyback on Dark Lady, just a matter of time before they can whittle them down. So we'll see. 50-minute mark just passed, men. By far the longest game we've casted today. The longest game I've casted in a while, actually. Only 46 kills on the board. What's going to happen? Scout going to come in. Look at him hitting for, critting for 512. 2 to the 8th. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I'm not really sure what are they. They are still farming all the way, and Scout is farming as well as Silhouette and Dark Lady. I really can't figure out what are they waiting for, except if what my senses are telling me right. So they are waiting for the token of life.
Double Broombringers.
Yes. She's going for double Doombringer because she has 2 slots left if she removes the portal. So, well, I don't see it. It's actually quite good. You know why? Because in an engage, Dark Lady will engage first, and normally you will aim Dark Lady first instead of Silhouette. So,
right.
From that, Dark Lady will add as a bait, and Silhouette will just dominate everyone from the Legions.
Well, that's
but
certainly
looks like
true.
He got caught right now at the top lane, and there you go. He's dead again.
Poor Silhouette. He's just having fun pressuring this top lane, but got the better of him this time. That was some expensive fun. And there you go. He's gonna buy the Savage Mace. He's had enough. He's gonna right-click the 2 Warhammers. Still, nope. Gonna sell him back. Can't decide what he wants. Back to 9k gold.
He's gonna keep us in suspense.
Yeah, he is, man. Does he actually have enough for the 2 Doombringers at the moment? I got to do the math on this. I don't know how much a Doombringer actually is. Doombringer is 5,600.
5,600, okay.
So he needs the 5,600 and then plus the 34. So he needs an even 10k to buy both Doombringers. He is going to buy back, though. He's back alive. Dropped the gold. And let's see, Glyph going to be used. This could be a deciding team fight here, men. There's the initiation. Scout going to get dropped like he's hot. He's still stuck. He can't get the auto attacks off. He's barely alive with a shrunken head on. Can they finish him? Scout's going to go down to start off this fight, and that's exactly what the Hellborn team needed. They're going to be able to clean this up. They're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Witch Slayer as well. The rest of the Legion team is running for the hills. And I don't know, man, that could be all she wrote. Is there enough for buybacks here? Scout certainly has enough. Not enough for Witch Slayer. It's going to be a 5v4 at the very best. The bottom lane is already down. I don't know. Team E, they're up against the ropes. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it here. It's going to all come down to this engage.
Yeah, that's right. So we will soon see another big engage going on, perhaps. Looks like, yeah, they're going to pressure this tier 3 tower real hard and go for the Rex. No, they are not going. Wretched Hex on Pyromancer, and Pyromancer in big trouble. He's definitely going down here, and yeah, there he goes. He's down. Luna is in big trouble also as well, going down. Barbers as well. So yeah, Dark Lady is out there, and Zero is alive as well with Symbol of Rage. And yeah, Scout is going to go down here. No, but Wretched Hex is in big trouble, and he's going to go out here. And looks like Ratchet just bought back, and it's not over. It's back in again. Dark Lady is big trouble, and Dark Lady will certainly go down here. Ratchet Hack managed to blink away with a slight low amount of HP. Bubbles big trouble, but managed to escape the death. So well played, seriously, well played.
Yeah, they're going to save the racks. The buybacks have been used, and look at these items. Silhouette in big trouble. Is she going to survive? It looks like it. Faye going to go in. Now Wretched Hag going to be in some trouble as well. Going to pop the geometers, and that's going to be the end of Silhouette. They are going to be able to finish her off. Scout still alive. Hag still alive. And, wow, they are going to be able to hold it off a little bit longer. Bubble's still alive as well. Some huge items have been picked up, though, while all that was happening. Silhouette has the Symbol of Rage as well as the Savage Mace. She is scary indeed. And Dark Lady had that 9k gold, and she has picked up the Post Haste now as well as level 4 Rift Shards. That is so scary. She's critting for 1100. They're going to be able to finish off Kongor here, and that may be enough to seal the deal for the Hellborn side. No buybacks left on Bubbles, 1 left on Scout. We'll see. NuFC, aka Team E on the Legion. They do have a chance, but they need to make it happen now. Beautiful ultimate from Pyromancer before the Shrunken Head. And that's going to be the end of Scout. Couldn't have gone any better. Dark Lady now just getting those right clicks in. She's going to get CC'd. Is Hag going to have enough damage to finish her off? And it's not going to be enough. Dark Lady going to finish off Hag. This Legion team is going to get cleaned up. If there's buybacks, they're going to get dropped. And actually, both teams really low on buybacks here. Kong's still alive. If only they could have finished Dark Lady, that fight could have gone so differently. But Kong does go down. Token comes and actually ends up in the inventory of Pyromancer, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Lady is already fully geared, as well as Silhouette. He's fully geared as well, except for the portal. So yeah, I don't see why he's not picking it up, but unless he wants to guard the token alive for Silhouette all the way for her to pick up, and it would be really huge for the Hellborn team if Silhouette has the token alive.
Yep. Very true. I think the Rift Shards Dark Lady might be enough. I think we'll have at least one more all-in team fight, but we are down to the nitty-gritty at this point. If this Hellborn team can win a positive fight, they're easily going to be able to get this mid lane, and the top lane will be but an easy push after that. If the Legion team can win a fight, they very well may be able to just push straight up the mid for the win. That's not out of the realm of possibility either. The big items are now on the field. Buybacks are pretty much meaningless on both sides of the coin. We see 4 heroes, or 5 heroes, pardon me, totally without buybacks. Fade, Aluna, Glacius, and Witch Slayer, the only ones with 2 buybacks left, mostly because they're the supports. They haven't had the money to be able to do so. Scout, the only valuable buyback left, I suppose you could say. Could be huge.
Yep. Yes, definitely right. So Scout has been stuck with his item for quite a certain amount of time because he doesn't want to spend the money. He wants to make sure that, okay, I'm going to get my 4th item, but I have to make sure that I have enough money to buy back as well, because if he uses money and he does not have enough money to actually afford a buyback, then it will be really huge.
It's over.
Yeah, it's practically over for the Legion team.
Yep, you are absolutely right, sir. You have to absolutely make sure #1 priority right now for Scout is indeed to have enough for buyback. And I mean, looking at this chart, he's, as I said, the only valuable buyback left. I'm sure they know that. They probably suspect that, at least pretty close, and that is a high priority. The other question is, what item does Scout go next? He's got the Brutalizer. He's got the irritating items. I think this is about the time where you start splitting that Frostburn. I think maybe a Frostwolf Skull on this Scout might be the way to go. Not only for the slow, but the attack speed slow as kind of an anti-carry against that Dark Lady.
Yeah, it's possible as well, because if he managed to split them up, and maybe just to get a Frostwood Skull, and maybe not Geometer's Blade, but Frostwood Skull. So he has more HP, and he has additional choice to actually get a better item, a better DPS item, like maybe Wing Bow. Wing Bow, I don't think it's possible right now because Zero already has the Savage Mace. So maybe a Savage Mace it works fine as well. Because right now his damage is not really that high. It's only like 272 to 276. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point as well. And he's going to go straight for the demonic, actually going to chance it a little bit. Does not have enough for a buyback now. Just right-clicks the demonic breastplate. A very ballsy move from Scout right there, and I don't know about that choice. Attack speed is generally not something you want to stack on Scout because Vanish gives you that attack speed there, so that item is kind of not useless, but not so useful when you have the Vanish active. Perhaps at this point, though, that attack speed will be enough to make full use of the lifesteal. Do keep in mind that Dark Lady no longer has an Abyssal Skull. It's now in the hands of Pyromancer. So if they do pick off Pyromancer and get rid of that lifesteal aura, it may give Scout the edge that he needs to sit toe-to-toe with Dark Lady. Very important to note. Scout still has his own Vlad. Silhouette going to be the one to get engaged on, though. Is she going to get dropped before the fight really starts? Yes, she is. The fight going to continue, though, and it's looking like the Legion team pulling ahead. They're going to be able to pick up a 2-for-1. Their bubbles does get taken out. Scout doing a hell of a lot of damage. The token's going to get burned. It's going to be a 1-for-5. I don't know how they did it, but they destroyed that team fight, and that very well may have won MUFC the game right here. I can't imagine that they won't be able to just push this for the win at the very least to get super creeps. At least level out the Rax toll here. In the way of buybacks, absolutely nothing available. Fade and Aluna have no gold for it. Wow. That is the power of... Is that really the power of Demonic Breastplate on Scout? Is like, wow.
Yeah, I'm really shocked, and I have totally no idea how did they won that engage. Seriously, I have no idea. But unless you say that Ratchet Hack and both Ratchet Hack and Bubbles managed to disable most of their heroes, and they won't be able to do anything. From there, Scout will land his DPS on the enemy heroes. So, yeah, that makes much more sense. So, well, I think the Hellborn team actually too much of a confidence down there, not playing too safely.
Yeah, the thing is, though, this game is not over. 2 lanes of Rax have been killed, but they are still in it. There's only a 1 Rax disparity right now. They did not push for the win. So there's a chance. Still, the buyback situation hasn't much changed. Of course, Scout still has his singleton buyback, but the game still isn't over. That's the crazy part here, Min.
62 minutes in. And
62 minutes. Just about 7 a.m. and we're still going hard. I still don't know who's going to win this game. That's the crazy part. You know, every time I think this Hellborn team is finally capped out in their carry potential, something like that happens and they just get cleaned up. And now they're behind a Rax, but they still have that huge carry lead. Scout is completely capped out now. I mean, I guess he could take that Frostburn, break it, sell one of the pieces, and then either pick up a Geometers or a Frostwolf Skull. Those would be his 2 options with that choice. So he does have an upgrade left. But Silhouette pretty much capped out as well. She can sell that Nullstone and pick up another hard carry item. Dark Lady, same boat as Scout. Split that Frostburn and sell half of it and upgrade the other half. But that's about it. Not too much further they can go other than Doombringers here at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, we are going to see a Genjuro Dark Lady. I think he has a strap.
Yeah, that's true. There's another upgrade there. Yeah, the Genjuro.
Yeah.
So, and I guess honestly, Scout is still holding the Vlads, and they've already picked one up on Witch Slayer. So there you go. That does open up another slot for Scout. So no, I take that back. They do still have a little bit of room to go. We'll see him pawn off that Vlads pretty quickly, I'm sure. And yeah, the barbed armor's starting to come out here. We see Richard Hag already picked one up. And the broadsword in the inventory of Bubbles, he's probably going to have one pretty quickly here as well. Not a big surprise to see that. At this point in the game, you can almost insta-give a carry if they unload their cannons on your barbed armor. So, smart item choice. Barbed armors can turn the tide of a game like this. I've said it a couple times this game already, but I think we're finally at that point where this last team fight will decide it. With only 3 lanes of Rax left across the 2 teams. There's not much left, man. Not Wow.
Yeah. Looks like they are heading mid and they are trying to end this or not. They are still roaming around and looking for opportunities to actually catch one heroes, and from there, yeah, they can end the game. But looks like it's going to be delayed further than expected. So,
Yep.
oh.
Yep. This is, of course, the greatest type of game when you have two sleep-deprived casters. This is always fun. Always fun. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat, though. I still just don't know how this is going to end. And I don't even have suggestions here. It's just a matter of finding the right engage. The issue is that both teams now are just going to play so passive. The risk of going into your opposition's base just isn't equal to the return at this point. You're so much better off to sit back, wait for your opposition to make that fatal mess step, wait for their carry to come out just a little bit too far, and you can just hop on him and make him pay the ultimate price.
Yep.
So this may go on for quite a bit longer here, Min, as we enjoy both teams static farming.
Yeah, they are still farming, even though they are geared up already. So, well, I think they are just waiting for the Congo to spawn and to get a grasp of the token.
That's true. That's actually very true. I believe Bananas will be coming out this Kong kill as well. So a very valuable Kongor kill. I guess he'll be back up probably a couple minutes. Oh, wow, a couple seconds. Look at that. Kongor going to pop right back up as we're checking out the pit. And I imagine this is going to be a focal point of this game. Both teams have it warded. See NuFC here actually in the pit. And here right outside NuFC. They've got a ward on the low ground as well. Scout going to go survivability route, though. He's going to pick up a Behemoth Heart. Going to transition from less of a carry to more of a tank. And, yep, sitting with 3,300 in the bank. I would have thought Frostwolf Skull would be the choice over Behemoth Heart because it gives you so much survivability, but also helps you in the damage output area as a kind of an effective counter to the carries on the Hellborn side. Heart's not a bad choice by any means, but probably would not have been my go-to.
Yep. And now Dark Lady has Disrupt on as well as the double damage. So looks like the turning point is coming and Scout is in big trouble. And Scout is gonna fall down right here, and Dark Lady is just like obliterating everyone from the team. Wow, mistake. Really, mistake comes from the Scout. Exactly. He's too overconfident.
Oh my god, and he doesn't have enough to buy back.
Oh my god.
Min, you are so right, my friend. So overconfident right there. That's exactly what I was talking about. In a situation like this, you're going to see both teams play passive and wait for that one person to make one misstep, and then it's going to be over, and that was it right there. Not enough for a buyback. Another 50 seconds before Scout pops back up. This very well could be the end of the game. We'll see how this continues. Silhouette going to go in here. Uh-oh, Silhouette going to get nuked down. Dark Lady in a little bit of trouble here as well. There's the Hex, and down goes Dark Lady. The Bat Blast going to finish him off. Pyromancer going to come in. That'll be the end of Hag. And it's going to be a pretty even exchange here. Fade going to try and pour it out. Looks like he's going to make it. Yep, there he is. That's going to make it a 2 for 2. We're right back to where we started. An even game. All the while, though, Creeps pressuring this base. Our Hellborn team is out of breathing room. They used it all right there to pick up that scout kill, and unfortunately, they threw it away. Their hard carries walked right into the crowd control. They've got one base tower remaining, and it is crippled at about 250 hit points. Cheese and crackers, Min. This game. Cheese and crackers.
Game. Yeah, I think, well, the players are also quite tired themselves, and they are really wish to end the game as soon as possible. As you can see from how they play their play style, they just dash into the base right like that. 2 carry heroes dashing into a bunch of CCs, so wow, that's not what you really want it to happen. So, well, they should actually wait for their supports, and it could be a GG for the Legion team. And well, they just threw the chance. They actually picked off Scout from there, and it's actually a really good opportunity for them. But
Now, the one thing about this game that makes me think the Legion team can still... There's two things about this game that makes me think Legion team can do it, despite not being at the carry advantage, is one, they've got the barracks, the lane advantage here. 2 lanes of racks down versus 1. That was absolutely huge in that last fight. Number 2, I guess there's really 3 things. Number 2, the base towers are gone. There is no room for error here for this Hellborn side. They need someone on defending duty pretty much full time here because they got nothing but a shrine left. And third, Scout still has that 1 buyback. That 1 valuable buyback is still yet to be burned. He didn't have to use it last time. They held it off without him. So now I imagine he's going to be pulling up enough, and that 1 last buyback. That's a lot of stuff in favor of this Legion team. It's not over, but wow. 70 minutes in now, Vin.
Wow. I'm lost of words.
Yes, I'm at a loss of words as well. As are the 1,100 folks tuning in, screaming in chat right now. It's so much fun with the delay server, seeing the reactions after the actions calm down. It's just like, and that would be Scout getting ganked. Yep. Oh, man. Wow, wow, wow. There's only so much that can be said about this game. I don't even know. Where do they go from here?
Yeah. And
Genjuro.
looks like, yeah, he picked up the Genjuro. So, well, I don't know if it actually makes any difference, but I think it does. But well, for the Hellborn team, their lanes are pretty much fragile, so it's really tough for them. And I don't know what the Legion teams are waiting for. They can actually do a Kongor kill right there, right now, and they are not trying to do it.
I was just going to say, Kongor is up. Again, that's a banana Kongor right there. And no one seems interested. The Legion have to recognize that they could probably force Kongor. I mean, I don't think NuFC can do much. They're going to have to keep somebody on defending. Maybe they just think it's too risky. I don't know, with the bananas. I think it may warrant the risk here. They're going to get aggressive. MUFC, if they wanted to push, I still think the token would be a little bit more of a risk-averse way to get an edge here. In the base, though, Wretched Hag going to go straight in to try and start some sort of a distraction. Maybe pick somebody off, force them back to the well, and Aluna's going to go down. That's going to be a hero Wretched Hag. Meanwhile, the engage down here at the base. Silhouette taking a lot of damage, trying to do everything that she can. But, yeah, that's going to be the illusion and the real Silhouette. Where is she? Back in the well. Yep, she's way back here defending. My mistake. Thought that was the real one at first. The rack's going to go down. It looks like MUFC, a.k.a. Team E, going to be able to do it. After 72 minutes of play, they're going to pick up super creeps. The team with the Scout is going to win. I don't know that it's a testament to how good Scout is compared to Dark Lady as a hard carry, but it was one hell of an interesting game nonetheless, Min.
Yes,
Wow.
Totally agree. Interesting game to the max.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. We saw some small plays and some big plays alike on both sides, but Team E, our Legion, is going to come out victorious. So with that said, Min, that wraps it up for tonight. Wow. Stretch it out a little bit.